part cheesy.
Yo,
What's up, player?
what up, Playboy from Playtoy, whatever's.
That's your play toy.
What
But
up, yo? What's going on?
nah, watching Parenthood, Keanu, just the little parts he has in it, just studying it.
Bro, what the hell were you texting me about Montani?
Dude, okay, I understand now. Remember when you told me those stories were like you whatever, those
Don't
things
make up
don't
shit. Don't make up
no,
shit, because
but
you
you
like
were
to make up shit. What
nah,
stories?
well like that you were hanging out and with you went to parties and stuff with guys that like look like girls and all that shit. Remember like that kind of stories you told me, like when you went to like a party. I remember you said you were like you couldn't even tell that this girl used to be a guy or that is a guy or still has a member. I don't. So you got stories where you hang out with people like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've hung out with people like that, sure.
Or like in the back of the car when you were making pancakes
No,
at four
stop,
o'clock in the
stop,
morning.
stop, stop. Because
Like
now you're
those
lying.
kind.
Now you're
Well,
lying.
anyway, I just had a good one for you because it caught me too, right? Like you remember you told me there's
What do you
nothing
mean
wrong.
caught you too? What do you
No,
mean?
because remember you were saying like yo, like all those new comedians now, that little short Irish comedian that like has a transgender boyfriend or girlfriend, I forget his name, the little dude. He always
Jim
looks
Norton?
mad. Yes, he always looks pissed. That's him, Jim Norton, right?
Hmm.
And then I watched something with him, and then I thought of you, and I'm like, dude, Mom Dami just got himself like LGTB head of something for transgender, medicine and all that treatment.
Hmm.
Dude, he or she was fucking fly, though. Yo, I saw her, and dude, I right away thought it was a girl until I saw LGTB, and I was like,
I mean,
now
did
I
she identify
understand.
as a woman?
I don't give a fuck what it was. To me, it
I'm
looked
just
like a girl.
saying, you can say it to she. If she's identifying as a woman, just say she.
It looked like she had long
So just
hair.
say
She
she.
had, but she's like LGTB, so she's like admitting I'm a guy. Like
If
she's
she's
saying
not
I'm a.
admitting she's a guy, she's living her life as a woman. So just call her a woman. How's that
But
affecting your life?
but, but anyway, I can see where your confusion lies. I'm with you. I don't what. Listen, I don't want to pass judgment on people. Let's just move on. Like I don't know.
I'm just saying it's not that simple as like, oh yeah, yeah, of course. If the girl is hot, like it's not, to me, it's not always about the looks. Like at the end of the day, I don't care how hot a girl is. If my objective, my attraction and my objective is to be with a woman.
I th- I think we're both a little confused right now. So let's just move on till we get some more facts.
I like I like how you want to do investigations now.
I'm
Well,
curious about certain. I have questions. Sometimes you don't answer them.
I mean, well, let's ask Chat GPT. Let's see what they say.
But
Do
that's like
you
that whole
do
AI
you use
shit.
do you use AI, bro? Are you into AI? Like are you
I
using
don't
AI?
trust any of that shit. That's Skynet. That's the end of the world. That's the reason why Terminator 2 was made. We shouldn't be doing that.
Do you think it's a you so you think it's a net you look at it as a negative thing. You don't look at it as a positive.
Listen, we don't know what tomorrow brings, and there's a reason for that. It's fucking. It's the reason why we're here. It's because we don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't. I don't want to know the answers. I don't want to know the day I die. I just want to live life. That's just cutting you short and giving you. That's like going to a fortune teller and her telling you your fortune, and it might not be what you want to hear.
I don't
So
understand the analogy.
AI makes shit up, and sometimes it could be right, it could be wrong, and sometimes it'll give you too much faith on what's wrong.
Well, AI, AI is just gathers information that's already out there. It's not really like coming up with anything new, you know. Uh Although I've had heard some crazy stories. Like there was a system, there was an AI system this insurance company had built, and it had it decided to like hook up to the whole company system, which
Okay.
meant it went through emails and everything, and it ended up finding out personal information about every employee. And when it found out that they were going to terminate the program and change the AI thing or just stop it, it blackmailed the person that was in charge of doing that and told them, "Yo, either you keep us going, or we tell everybody about the affair you're having with so and so person." And nobody taught that AI machine how to do that.
You see what I'm saying? Technology, I've always told you, technology will be the end of us. It is pure laziness. Technology is laziness.
It is because there's another company that was using it AI machine as an answering machine, like a secretary.
Okay.
So it would, but when it would like ask you, when it would prompt you, it's like, para español oprime número dos. And when you would press number two, instead of getting Spanish, you were getting somebody speaking English with a Spanish accent.
I like that. I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
So the phone call would probably be like, para español oprime dos. Doop.
Hola,
Okay, so
buenas
what you
tardes.
want to
¿Cómo lo
do
puedo?
now? What happened?
I said, hola, buenas tardes. ¿Cómo lo puedo ayudar?
No, that's too much Spanish.
Really?
It was English with a Spanish accent.
Oh, I like that
So it
even
would be
more.
like, para español, oprime número dos. Boop. Okay, so what you want to do now is go to your form and go to line number five. It would be like that.
That's okay. That's okay. No. I thought it was gonna be like carnitas, and I would be all for that.
No, 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 no. It's
Okay.
like it was speaking in English. It was still speaking English, but with a Spanish accent. So,
As Tony
as
Flags.
Antonio, so you would get Antonio Banderas telling you what to do. Do you still not understand?
Wow.
If
I,
you do not understand, press your nipples.
you see, man, this is why. This is why I don't even like phones anymore. It's just too much.
I mean, people are using it for some evil shit. There's this dude called Glenn Beck, right? One of your peoples, MAGA lover, conservative. One of your peoples.
Okay. I love
And,
everybody, but
and he
okay.
has a podcast, a show.
Who doesn't?
And he has this show, a segment in his podcast where he's created an AI version of George Washington.
Okay.
So he can ask George Washington questions
Mm.
about what's happening today.
Mm.
So he has George Washington in like a J. Crew t-shirt and jeans. Yo, looking like fucking, you know who he looks like?
Ooh.
Gavin Newsom.
Really?
Facts.
That's the
Facts.
California guy, the California.
Yes. That's who but he's sitting there and the questions are, and like the AI is using, is making answers for George Washington based on his early writings of the Constitution or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But
Okay.
they're getting answers from him, and he's like, so Glenn Beck is like, so George, do you think we should be going into Iran right now? And George is like, I think that all sounds great. What do I don't know what AI sounds, but that's what I'm saying. How crazy is that? Now, my question to you is, if you can form an AI person to talk to anybody in your life, it doesn't have to be famous, but you just want to have another conversation with, or would like to have a conversation with, who would that be?
Mm. That's a good one. That's a good one. I think I would. I, Jesus, I guess, would be one of them.
You would go with Jesus
I'll go with Jesus being one, just as one of those figures.
or
You know,
Charlie Kirk? Same thing.
I don't like talking about the dead, but it's just like I wasn't much of a fan of his. I mean, I just,
Okay,
me and
okay. No,
me
my
and
bad, my bad.
Candace,
Jesus, 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 Jesus.
no, because Candace don't believe in his bullshit, so neither will I.
Right. Can't. How can we forget about
Exactly. And I
Candace?
knew when she stopped, messing with him, I knew I had to stop. I knew there was something up there. So,
Um.
but I would say Jesus because I'd have a lot of questions.
Hmm.
As far as Jesus was born in between AD BC, so I'd have a lot of questions for him. I'd have a lot, like we have answers to stupid shit like why 12 on the clock and 24 hours, all those questions we have, but just I don't know, certain wars, certain sufferings, like why did his own people go through that whole all the
Hmm.
suffering of slavery in Egypt, and why
Hmm.
do we continue? Why does history repeat itself over and over again? Like what is that? What's
These
the
are all
key that
questions
we're
for
missing?
Jesus.
Yeah, like I would just want to know, like, why does history keep repeating itself? Like, why do we not learn? Why do we not learn? With all the
Okay.
goodness out there, how come we do not? How come we don't learn? Why is greed and power the most important thing in this world? I myself being, guilty also. Like I'm not excluding myself from any of that. I'm just asking. It's just questions. And like people say, it's choice. It's human. It's a human will. But I'd just like to pick his brain or like tell him, like, you don't have to be lashed for 7 hours before they put you on the cross. Like just call me. I'll show up with some people. Like we'll get you out of that. Like I know you got 12 motherfuckers. I'll show up with another five. That's like at least we'll take out 3, 4 Roman guards and we can set you free. You know, like there were
Okay.
options. I don't think he should have been crucified like that. We could have done some commando shit. It's just
That's interesting.
it would have changed history or something. It's just
No, this is a good scenario. I like this
I'm
for
just
you.
saying.
I like this for you.
Like we don't have to have Jesus dying on the cross. Like why can't we have Jesus say, "Yo, fuck that. You know what? Herod and all that. I'm gonna fucking flood this place out. And you know what? I'm gonna die, age of 80, but we're gonna keep going with my teachings. But we're not gonna teach into that crucifixion and all that suffering and the whipping. Let's just keep it. Let's just keep it PG. Is what I'm trying to say. Like
Wow.
you know." And then maybe for him to prove his righteousness, he punishes the people who were gonna crucify him or whatever. But maybe we would have had a better outcome. Maybe Muhammad, you know what I mean?
No.
They say it's some people say it's the same person, some people, depending on what the years are, all that shit. But maybe talk to Muhammad. Why did the Quran take that twist? Talk to Buddha. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it would be. A conference with all those great, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad. Well, who else would be there? Uh, who else would be there? I'm running out of religions here.
I mean, I don't know how expensive your AI is, but that's fine. That's good.
Yeah, but
Um, I'd probably do Martin Luther King. You know,
I think that was a politically charged. What would have been
no,
the
only because
answer?
no, but not because of the same reasons you think.
Okay, so then what?
Because I want to know, like, because he supposedly like he got a lot of poontang,
I heard that.
and he has a reputation of being like how can you how did he balance that out? You know what I'm saying? And
I get you.
also, he didn't work. He didn't have a job. Break it down for me, my nigga. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that to Martin Luther King, but you know what I'm saying. Break it down to me.
What do you mean he didn't have a job? He was just an activist then, right? He just like how did he feed himself?
Is that a job? That's what I'm saying. Is that a job?
Well, he had to hold some kind of.
This is no internet.
Whoa.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know. So then what did he do? Wasn't he a lawyer or
No, he's an
something?
activist. He was
But you have
a.
to be something, but he's a reverend, so he's also a preacher of some
I
kind
mean,
of
I'm
a
pretty sure he
pastor.
got donations and got taken care of, but I'm just saying.
So is he more a pastor reverend thing than he is a politician?
Oh, he was a reverend.
Right?
Yeah, he was a
Reverend
reverend.
Martin Luther, right, but
Reverend
it's
Martin Luther King. Yes.
so so he was more of a spiritual leader than he was a political leader.
Oh, absolutely. He was a socialist.
Okay.
Absolutely. So was Jesus. Well, that's not a conversation you're ready to have.
Jesus was American, number one.
Oh my goodness.
The
Sure.
Bible is American.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Red, white, and blue. The snake was red, white, and blue. From Adam and Eve. Just keep it going. Fuck. You know, all I know is that's kind of scary when you do see the AI, how it's done. Like, there's a kid on the internet, he like talks to dudes in jail and he shows them video of them like having sex with other guys, AI, or like messing around with other guys. And
Oh
those dudes
shit.
lose it in jail because they don't know like what the hell. They feel like they got drugged or something, like, like they think it's really them. They don't know what's going on. Uh
That's mean.
yeah, I mean, there's bad uses for AI and then there's good uses and stuff, but I
Like you
do
don't
feel
fuck with a dog when it's in a cage. You don't rattle a cage. Like why
yeah,
do you
but
do that?
it's like
That's wrong.
old people can't tell the difference though, B. You understand what I'm saying? They be sharing shit. AI for me right away, I hear it in like the sound in their voices. You know what I mean? You can hear like it's just like a distortion in the sound. It's a little too loud, and it's always the same voice, and it sounds a little bit too crazy. But and sometimes you'll see the hands with seven fingers and shit. But
Is that
uh,
what it is?
yeah, but old people see that shit and they be sharing that shit on Facebook, bro. And it's
I
fast. Like that shit spreads fast. And how you gonna tell them that it's not real? They don't understand AI. They're seeing what they're seeing.
we gotta protect the older people.
Listen, old people are better than ever.
I
Okay, old people don't have to wear polyester pants no more. Old people don't. They're out here wearing fucking band t-shirts and jeans.
that is so true.
That's and sneakers. That's stuff that old people like. Why are you trying to dress like a young guy? Like, no, that's how he's been dressing for fucking 60 years. You know what I mean?
Do you know what I appreciate about people getting older?
What?
Like all my uncles, I'm not gonna name names,
Mm-hmm.
but my
Like,
uncles,
uh-huh.
I just noticed that after 65, you get like a boost, and those fuckers are just horny as shit. And
Okay.
I just maybe
But Latino 60. All right. So, okay. This is what I wanted to talk to you about the other day about the show that me, because me and my daughter be watching Love is Blind and all that shit.
okay.
There's a new show. I forgot the name of it. But the objective of the show is these people meet, right?
Uh
In this place. It's like a whole story. Different age groups. The age range is from like 22 to 60 or something
okay.
like that. Okay. Now the objective is to show is that you meet somebody, and if you like them and you pick them, that's when you reveal each other's ages.
Oh shit.
So through the whole time, you don't know how much older than somebody you can be. Okay, so it's all like, oh, we like it because the people that host the show, it's a couple like that. Like he's like 18 years older than her or something like that. Whatever.
Wow.
He was a former bachelor or whatever. That being said, that means that these old dudes are going on there. So, all right. Here's and you know what? There is no ageism here. And guess what, bro? You and I were doing it gracefully. We're on our way. Look at all these nice little grays. We're on our way.
I
But
just
let
started growing a beard like 2 years ago.
but let's keep it real about what happens with old people in general. Meaning, yes, not everybody ages the same, right?
Right?
Some people at 66, they looking solid, they look good. They don't oh shit, you look like you in your 50s, right? And then there's a dude in his 40s that looks like he's in his 60s.
Or 30s, looks like he's
Or,
60.
right, like they just look old, or they're 60 and they look 80, or they're 80 and they look 80, you
Right?
know. But it's all about the attitude and mentality and how they keep themselves, right? But here's what happened. Here's the scary part about dating an older person. The old guy, he may look like George Clooney and shit. Like he just looks older, but he got his shit together. You know, he's still standing up straight, all this other shit. But the day it turns, he turns into George Burns, and that's an old reference. That's a really old. Now I feel very old.
The
Uh,
fact that I know who George Burns is, though.
that's crazy. We're old. They go from Gavin Newsom one day to like the next day being Joe Biden. It's fast. The minute they
Okay.
turn and they start to age, it's fast. So the problem with dating an older person is you don't know what time that day is coming for that person.
Okay.
It could be at 68, it could be at 73, right? It could be at 58. But one day the collagen is just gonna stop pumping. And it just you go from McDreamy to McDiaper. Fast.
Shit.
And that's the only issue when you're dealing with, especially men, especially the dude, because older men, they be keeping it together with a nice suit. They can still work out. Look at RFK. He had a
That
worm in
fucker
his
is
head,
jacked.
but he's
That fucker
jacked,
is jacked.
and he looks like a leather bag, his skin. But the day that he can't do that shit, no cold plunges, all that shit, it's over. He's gonna go fat. He's gonna look. He's gonna melt.
I don't
So
know
that's
how
the
he
only
keeps
thing.
it
So I'm
together.
not. So I'm not sexist or I'm not ageist. I'm not doing no ageism here. I'm. I don't know why I mentioned sexism. It had nothing to do with it because I'm really talking about men. I'm not talking about ageism so far as like whatever. Like you could maintain yourself, but I'm just saying the scary part of being an older man is you don't know when that day is gonna come for you. My pops, bro.
You mean that drop is what you're trying to
Is
say
that
that
drop is fast.
shit.
The drop will happen in 4 months when it happens. You just don't know when the drop is coming because people get old
That's
all of a sudden,
it's
and
true.
some people's drop isn't that bad. Like look at Ted Danson.
Yeah, he's looked the same for like 60 years.
And Ted Danson had a little drop, but boom, he even with the drop, even at 80, the dude's still slim. He still got his look, whatever. He just got white hair. He's an older guy. Look at Russell Crowe.
Well, he gained a bit of weight as he got older.
But he also lost. George Clooney's another great example. He still got it, but one day, like when he gets older, he's maybe 80 and maybe 85. You don't know. We don't know, and maybe the surgery and there's blood stuff. That they can still do because they got the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, the minute you can't stop that drop, it's gone. Look at Trump.
But Trump never looked good though.
I'm
Even
just
when he was
saying
younger, he never
the
looked good.
drop has been crazy from when he first ran in 2016 to now.
Yeah. But he's never been a good looking dude.
It's
Like
never been
he's never
great. No, it's never been great since the 90s, maybe when he could do the lipos and all that stuff.
uh
But now, I'm just saying, look at the man that came down the stairs and talked about Mexicans, and look at the man he don't even bother like blending in his makeup or anything. Yo, my man just the drop has been crazy. Look at Obama. Obama had
did
a
you
little drop,
find
but
did
his
you
drama
find
went up. His drop went up. He looks
uh,
better as an older man than he did when he was younger. I don't know how he did it.
I had a conversation with uh with a friend of mine the other day
You
talking
still got
about some
friends?
yeah, some political stuff. I got political friends, I told you.
Hmm.
And we were just talking about how hot we thought that Christy Nome was. Now though, not when she was younger. Not when she was younger though, but like now
Is
with
it
all
is
those
it the
plastic
plastic?
surgery.
Is it the plasticness of it?
Yes, she looks like a blow up doll, and I love it.
I was
She looks
talking
like
to my
Frank the
girlfriend the other
Tank's
day.
blow up doll.
I was talking to my girlfriend the other day about how, you know, there are times where you're watching, like, say, like you're watching porn and it's like something very, very dirty. And that's what makes it hot because it's just so wrong.
Hell yeah,
Is that what's going on with Christy Nolan for you?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Like I find her hot, but now though, not when she was younger.
No, that's the part that's bad.
Yeah, yeah. I know, I
You
know.
like that Mar-a-Lago face.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like they're not real.
I'm so glad she's gone. And
Eh,
this guy's not. He's not gonna get it,
that motherfucker
according to
wanted
the
to
Senate
UFC
stuff.
somebody.
Because even Rand, the another Republican, ate him up today.
I watched the entire thing today.
Ah, it was
I,
beautiful. It was nice
I
to see.
watched the entire thing
Because that
today.
guy's an idiot. David Allen Mullins, whatever. That guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
He's always offering to fight people.
How do you offer to fight people that are like half your age, like double
And
your age?
also,
Like,
people are there because opportunities, right?
right?
And he's probably, oh, I got here because I started out as a small business owner, blah blah blah. You know what his business was? Plumbing.
Mm.
You
So he's
got a
already
guy that used
crooked.
to handle mojones.
Yeah, but he's already crooked because to get those plumbing licenses, you got to be crooked.
Enough said. Enough said.
Plumbing license, you got to get through the city. You got to bid out contract and all that other bullshit. When you do get the plumbing license, to become a fucking licensed plumber, you got to be an apprentice for like 9 years, 7 to 8 years, 9.
Enough said.
So that's bullshit. Why do you think all the fucking plumbers, if you look at a plumbing van and everything, the ones that do have the proper permits and they don't say piping, they say plumbing, they have their little thing and it's always some last name like, you tell me.
I don't do.
Some,
I'm not much for plumb. I'm not much of a plumber. But I've cleaned some pipes before. You know what I'm saying?
okay, okay. All right, Mario.
Yeah.
Can you believe that was another one I had was bothering me? I had to tell you. Can you believe they have a fucking Mario movie coming out? How stupid! Can we relax with that Mario shit already? All the people that played Mario are like half dead, and we're about to be. So it's like, can we stop? These kids don't know what Mario is. They don't know what
They
Zelda is.
love
Can we?
Mario.
No, stop it. Stop it. The only thing that lasts that long is like Tom and Jerry. We should put away fucking Teletubbies and SpongeBob too, even though I like SpongeBob. But like, it's we got to move
They
with the
don't know
times,
Tom and Jerry.
huh?
They don't know Tom and Jerry, bro.
No, they don't. But I'm saying that's I
Yeah,
don't know.
I
I
get
just
it.
feel like they don't have anything, bro. They're just reaching. All these fucking cartoons shitty. They're all shitty. The last cartoons that came out in the last 15 to 20 years are all shitty. Peppa Pig is horrible.
Okay, you know what?
Paw
That's
Patrol's not bad.
that's my cue when you start trashing Peppa Pig.
I don't like Peppa Pig. They fart and snort when they fucking agree with each other.
Hello, Peppa.
Yeah, and I like pigs, but no.
Are we going to play in puddles? I'm giving parents flashbacks.
I, I, I don't like Peppa Pig.
Are
And
you
that's rule
going
number
to give
one. You
me
never put lipstick
puddles?
on a pig.
What?
Nothing. That was just rule number
Wow.
one. My
Okay.
stepfather
You
taught
know
me that.
what? You know
You never put
what?
lipstick on a pig. That's what my
You
stepfather
know
taught
what? Maybe the pig has a pretty cool personality.
me. I ain't gonna fuck the personality, so I'll
Okay.
tell you that much.
Okay. Goes to show
Give a
where you
fuck
are,
about the
buddy. All
personality.
right. As long as the personality has a vagina, we're good.
There we go.
All right. Peace, my G.
All right, man. Be safe. Check
You
you
already
later.
know.
All right.